Hi, gang. Today we are going to talk digital marketing. Welcome to the 30. We're going to talk digital marketing. We're going to talk about something called SEO and all that good stuff as it relates to online, as it relates to tech. And I have a good friend of mine. She is the founder and CEO of Rocket Media LLC. That's a lot to say. Melissa Psihudakis. I think I got that right. Psihudakis. Yes, it's a long word. It's a great word. But anyhow, we are going to talk to her right now. And I hope that if you are watching this is your first time, make sure that you like and share this broadcast with someone else. We're going to be here for the next 30 minutes. Welcome to the 30. My name is Patrick. Let's get this party started. Hi again, gang. It is Patrick. Welcome to the 30. It must be Thursday. If this is your first time viewing the 30, I want to welcome you. This is where we focus and interview business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and those that are doing some positive things in our community and beyond. So welcome to the 30. Do me a huge favor. Go ahead and like and share the broadcast. We're streaming. We're also going to bring this in replay. If you are watching it in replay, thank you for watching. If you have any comments or you want to say something, just drop it in the comments line and we will bring that up for you. So today I have a good friend of mine and we go back years, but I haven't seen her in probably about 4-5 years, but it's good to see her. And she is the founder and CEO of her own company, and I'm going to bring her in. Melissa, welcome to the 30.
Hey, Patrick. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you for joining us today. You are where? You are located in Long Island, right?
Yeah.
All right.
That's right. Thanks for having me.
Oh, not a problem. Thank you for bracing us with your presence as we celebrate Women in Business. This is a series. This is our final episode of the series. So thank you. So tell our audience, who is Melissa and what is Rocket Media LLC?
Yes. So I'm Melissa Psihudakis and I founded Rocket Media. We are a multi-digital marketing firm. We do everything from SEO to PPC, content, email, social media, web design. We do analytics, CRM, dashboard builds. Currently, I have 50 employees. We are fully remote throughout the US and also some additional countries as well. So we've been expanding and growing like crazy. So that's pretty much it.
All right, Melissa. So how long have Rocket Media been in business?
4.5 years.
4.5 years, and you have 50 employees already. Wow.
Yes.
So you're growing. So when we talk, my big question, I see it all the time. What is SEO? What does that mean?
SEO is search engine optimization, and that's the way businesses can get their websites found on Google through different keyword searches.
Okay. That's pretty simple. Now, you also said that you do digital marketing, websites build. So let's take one step at a time. Let's talk about your digital marketing footprint and what does that entail?
Yes. So digital is, and I always say it's everything that can be done and found online. Social media is done online, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of that is done online. And that's one part of it. Then the organic part would be the SEO. And then there's paid ads like Google paid ads, pay per click. So those are the ads that you click on that are in the little shaded boxes at the top of Google on the search page. and creating content so that you're putting out blogs and white papers and press releases and things like that, so that your end user, your customer, your client can find you. And then also YouTube is another great viable resource in the digital marketing space, and leveraging videos and optimizing those videos for SEO. See, it all kind of ties together.
I see.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this business? I think the last time we saw each other, you were VP of marketing of a firm.
Yes.
So how did you transfer from or is that all part of it? Go from that to this type of business?
Yeah. So I've always been an entrepreneur at heart, and I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. So I essentially had left Protect America, and I started Rocket Media, and that's pretty much been a roller coaster ride since.
So what inspired you, Melissa, to start Rocket Media?
I would say because I had the entrepreneurial spirit, I feel like it was myself that inspired myself to take that next step, to start a company and move in that direction. I wanted to be able to have something that I could grow, and I wanted to be able to provide jobs for people. And that was really important to me, that I can help provide work. I love what I do. I love marketing. I love digital marketing. I love my clients, but I really love to be able to provide jobs and see that growth and watch people grow into larger roles within the company as well.
That's awesome. That's great. And that's what it's all about, right? It's helping others before you can help yourself. And people don't understand that concept, that is, if you help enough people, by default, you'll end up helping yourself. But you first have to help folks. So why the name Rocket Media? Where did that come from?
That came from me being awake at 3 a.m. I remember at this point in my life, so I made this transition. I left Protect America. I had moved to New York. I was basically starting over, and I really wasn't sure at first what I was going to do. And I said, I'm going to take my skill set and I'm going to start a digital marketing agency, because I've been doing it for so many other companies and helping them become successful. I said, well, let me do this for myself. And it was 3 a.m. and I was setting up my business account, and it said, enter the name of your business. And I said, well, shoot, I don't know what the name of my business is going to be. So I started thinking, and I thought, okay, websites, web. I came up with the web part. That seemed to be a good first start. That made sense. And then I thought about catapulting your results and increasing your results from an SEO perspective. So then I thought of what shoots up in the sky.
Nice.
And then I thought about rocket ships. And then I thought, okay, web rocket. And then I felt like I needed a third word to kind of pull it all together. And there's different facets or multimedia facets involved. So I added media to the end, and hence Rocket Media was born.
Wow, look at that. See, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's what it does to you.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So Melissa, who is your target audience?
So I have a few niches. One is health and wellness. Real estate is another one.
Okay.
E-commerce, and then the fintech space. So combination of financial and tech SaaS. Those are really the big niches that I tend to focus on.
Okay, so I got to put this word down here. Fintech, financial and tech. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm learning so much already. Fintech. Thank you. And which one do you think, in terms of upside, well, right now and in the future, which one do you think has the greatest opportunity or potential for you as you move forward?
Definitely in the SaaS and tech space, because that space is booming. So more and more companies are creating different types of SaaS products, different types of technology. And I see more and more in that space, and specifically with cyber type of products. So cybersecurity for computers and encryption and things like that. So that seems to be taking off lately. And I've received a lot of inquiries in that space specifically.
I would think probably cybersecurity, because that's, as most people are on the web and doing different things like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
There's a need for security, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So as we look at your business, and you said there are 50 employees. So walk us through, what's a typical day like at Web Rocket Media, at a tech firm? What do you do? What do you guys do? A typical day?
What don't we do? It's hectic because agency life is just constantly moving. There's always a lot of moving parts. So currently there's, I want to say 7 or 8 project managers on the main team. And then we have different departments. So we have a PPC department, an SEO department, graphic design, development department, email specialist department, and everything's broken out. We have a copywriting team. And essentially we will sign a deal on any given day during the week. And then once that deal gets signed, it starts to roll out into an onboarding process, and the project manager will get assigned, and then they'll start assigning the work to start for that particular client. And the day we sign a contract is the day we get started.
Okay.
We don't wait. So there's really no honeymoon period. There's no long onboarding process. It's, we signed on the dotted line, we get started right away, and we jump into it. And then we have processes and procedures that we roll out that we follow on a daily and weekly basis for those clients. So there's a lot of moving parts, and we communicate on different tools that we utilize internally. So we all kind of feel like we're there, even though we're in different areas.
Sure.
So location wise, and it's really important to have that communication going throughout the day. So we do have meetings throughout the week, and we're all connected, but it's just, we have a lot of fun while we're doing it. And I think that's an important aspect of it, is to not lose sight of having fun. So we do like to have Zoom parties, and we do stuff like that that's special for the team, because I don't want it to always feel like it's just work.
Sure.
And no fun and play. So we do make time for that. I know that our next Zoom party coming up, we're doing a pajama party. So that's,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very, very nice. So I am talking to Melissa of Web Rocket Media. If you would like to just drop her a comment or ask her a question, you can just put it in the comments field, and we'll make sure that she sees that. So Melissa, let's talk about now the future. Where do you see Web Rocket Media going? Let's say this year, 2021 and 2022.
I would say I'm projecting 50% growth for the year.
Wow.
Also focusing on refining processes and controls, and continuing to deliver the finest quality for our clients, and having our strong comprehensive training program, which is really instrumental with any business. It really helps with employee retention and client retention, having that solid foundation for training. And that's a big part of it. So,
well, when you hear about training, don't forget a Jackman Group. All right. We just
that's
a plug for us.
That's right. And, you know, I learned so much from you too. And I've rolled that out. A lot of things that I learned from the Jackman Group, I rolled it out through Web Rocket. And it really means so much. You don't realize how much of an impact. And we're going back years ago.
Sure.
Training. And that still has an impact today. There's stuff that I learned from your group that is, it's timeless. You can implement it, and it really doesn't matter what business you're running at what time. If you apply those processes that you learn and implement them, you will see results, and it works.
Well, thank you, Melissa. I thank you for that plug. We're still going strong. So let's look at your journey, right? So you started it 4 years ago. would you do anything different to what you've done to bring the business to this point?
I would have started it sooner.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I wish I started it sooner. And, it's all about the timing.
Yes.
But I think a key part of that is having the right infrastructure in place. And when you start a business, what happens is, and in this case, Web Rocket Media grew so much, so fast, that there was not a lot of time in the beginning to put the infrastructure in place. So having the right recruitment, having your HR put together, having all these different parts of your departments, and then having all those processes and controls in place. That was a little crazy in the beginning because it was just clients, and you're trying to make sure that you're staying on top of it by having enough employees to facilitate the work for the clients.
Yeah.
So having that infrastructure in place from day one is something that you want to make sure that you have. And I had learned that and ironed that out within the first year of business, was getting that into a place where I felt more comfortable as I onboarded more clients that were larger clients too.
Sure. So you're growing, you're bringing on employees, you're trying to add more customers while trying to build an infrastructure to support the customers.
That's right.
So with that said, then, what has been your greatest challenge? Let's talk about that, your greatest challenge. And then secondly, how have you overcome that?
Yeah. And I feel like this ties into the last question. Really, the
Okay.
infrastructure was the greatest challenge. And I felt as though getting organized and having the right tools to utilize that everybody was trained on, everybody felt comfortable with, and then being able to be consistent in your processes was a big part of that. Having your timing down, understanding that everything that's tied to a retainer has a certain amount of hours, and you have to make sure that your team understands exactly how many hours are involved with that and not to be exceeding hours and things like that. So having a really good system in place is so important. And I felt like that was a challenge in the beginning because, again, that it ties back to the infrastructure.
Sure.
If you don't have the timing in place and you're not managing your time, and that's where I started to hire my first project manager.
Okay.
Then I realized there was a need for project management because you don't realize how important and how pivotal it is to have somebody who can help manage that part of it, help manage the overall team, managing the clients, and making sure that timing is being looked at, because time is money. So making sure that was all tied together was something that I felt in the beginning was a little tough. And then as far as overcoming that, I kept continuing to grow the project management team. Then we had 2, then we had 3, then we had 4, then 5, 6, and 7. So essentially, I realized that having people on the team that had those skills and that skill set, and they're highly organized, it makes for a lot smoother situation when you're managing time for your clients and for your employees.
Perfect. So from an entrepreneurship perspective, Melissa, what would you say as advice that you can give current and future entrepreneurs?
I would say don't give up. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. And at times you might feel like, it could get very stressful. And I think that it's really nice to believe in yourself and have a good support system around you of people who are positive. Just be around positive people. Don't listen to the naysayers. If I listen to everyone that told me that I wasn't going to amount to anything, then I would be nowhere. So I feel like...
Oh, you had those too?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was the only one that had those.
Yeah, I knew people in my life that I felt were sometimes just toxic people. They don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you do well. And I realized once I removed those people from my life, then it made it easier for me to just forge ahead. So my advice would be, if you have an idea and you truly believe in it, do what you love and the money will come. Don't get caught up in any of the negative hype. Just stay laser focused on your passion and do what you want to do. And you do what it takes, and you don't stop until you get to exactly where you wanted to go.
So you hit on some key things there, right? Do what you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the work. Don't worry about the money because the money will come. And so many people want to focus on the money because they think, okay, I'm going to open up a business. I'm going to be a millionaire the next day.
I've had those clients. You have to set expectations. It's really
Right.
about setting those expectations. I signed a client one time, and literally day one we signed, and on day two they said, "Where are my leads?" Day two, we were still setting up all their accounts and everything, and that was the initial day one, and we were getting the quick onboarding moving along. And they said, "Well, it's already the second day here, and we signed up yesterday. Where are our leads?"
Wow.
And I was like, wow, I need to set expectations a lot more clearly to the client so they understand that day two, you're not going to get this influx of leads, that there's a process. And I also realized that that wasn't my client. So when you have these ridiculous expectations and you're dreaming of unicorns and rainbows, I have to bring you back to earth. And I have to say, Mr. or Mrs. Client, please, this is the process. Here's what we expect to get. Here are your projections. Here's how we're going to get there. This is how long it's going to take to do that. And as long as that's okay with you, then we're going to be a great partnership.
So you look at your right fit client. What would that person be?
Yeah. So essentially, we work with, well, we do work with a lot of startups. So I'll start there. Mm-hmm. So we love helping entrepreneurs get their businesses off the ground, get them started, help them, show them how to be successful, setting up their campaigns, and also helping them to identify where in marketing they should be focusing their efforts on and how to budget their money for their marketing efforts. Because a lot of times a client will come to us and they'll say, well, I want to do everything on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I say, okay, well, who's your target? And they said, I'm targeting 55 to 75-year-olds. And I say, well, okay, let me ask you why you chose Instagram. And they're like, I don't know, because I think I like it and they're going to like it too. And I said, okay, but Instagram is a millennial target. So Instagram, you're targeting up to the age of 35. So if you're trying to sell to 50, 55 to 75-year-olds, they're not on Instagram.
On Instagram, sure.
So it's things like that and leading them in that direction. So that's kind of one part of it is the startups, which is a lot of fun. And then mid-sized businesses and also larger enterprise clients. So we essentially work with the gamut. And it's nice because you get a nice mix of different types of businesses. Some are already established and you're helping them grow their bottom line. And some of them are startups and they're really starting from scratch. And you're watching them grow from nothing, like a little baby, and then turning into an adult. An
adult, sure. I have a question here from Cindy Ray. And by the way, Cindy Ray, we had her on last week, and she did a fantastic job. She's also our sponsor with C Ray's Thought Pop. Shout out to C Ray. So her question is, what's an average or typical budget for a startup?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
So average or typical, I would say average is about $3,000 to $5,000 per month for a startup. And there are some startups that will come into play and they'll say, well, I have $1,000 I can do allocated for each month. And that would be considered a very small client on that end. So,
and does that also come into play based on what the customer's goals are or what they're doing?
Yes, because then you have to consider your media budget.
Okay.
So if they say 1,000 is my all-in budget, it makes it difficult because then a portion of that has to now go towards the ads, and ad spend can get very costly very quickly, and it's not sustainable for everybody if they have a smaller budget. But lately, I would say from 2020 to 2021, the average startups have been spending between 3,000 and 5,000 a month.
Wow. So the big question that receive ads on Facebook all the time, sponsored. So which would you, well, I think I answered that in terms of based on your client, but where would you get the most bang for your buck?
I like social media ads. I prefer social media ads over Google ads because Google ads aren't always sustainable. Cost per click tends to be driven higher by staunch competition, where social media ads tend to have a lower cost per click, and you can get away cheaper by doing a smaller budget and smaller subsets in your campaigns on Facebook and Instagram, for example. And LinkedIn tends to be a little more costly. And I believe it's because of LinkedIn feels they're giving more of a qualified lead.
Sure.
So their cost per click tends to skew higher than Facebook and Instagram. And then there's Twitter ads, which as an agency, we've tested for many clients, and we haven't seen huge successes in Twitter ads versus Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn ads.
What about YouTube? Where does that?
Yeah, so YouTube's great if you're promoting specific videos, and YouTube, you can have a really great campaign, and that is on the Google Ads platform.
Okay, got it.
If you're running Google Ads and YouTube,
Right.
Those would be in the same area.
Got it. Okay. All right. That's good to know, especially for those that are doing events, and we have one coming up pretty soon. So I'll be tapping you to see where should we place our ads and
Absolutely.
in our budget. So this is good. Thank you so much. If someone wants to contact you, Melissa, how can they do that?
Sure. They can check out our website. It's www.mywegrocketmedia.com, or you can visit us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Web Rocket Media.
Okay, so I have it here on the list. It is www.mywegrocketmedia.com. Right?
Yes, it's a mouthful.
Yes. So here's another person that we know, George. Remember George?
Hey, George.
Shout out to you, George. Always great knowledge and nuggets to pick up here. Hello to you both. Shout out to you, George, and hello to you and your family. I hope that you're well.
Yeah.
Another blast from the past, right?
Yeah, love George.
So Melissa, we always end our show with a couple of minutes of what we call rapid fire. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and I want you to respond as quick as possible.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Favorite music group?
Queen.
Queen. Okay. Favorite song?
Don't Stop Me Now.
Favorite movie?
Jaws.
Oh, wow. Yeah. When I first watched Jaws, I didn't go in the ocean for a while.
I still don't go in the ocean.
Favorite place to vacation?
The Caribbean, just not go in the water.
Hey. So if it's the Caribbean, there's only one place to go, and that's Barbados. I'm just saying. Yes. Just saying. All right. Favorite food?
Italian. I love my chicken parm.
Okay. All right. So here's the last one for you. Soda or pop? What do you call it? Soda.
Soda. Okay. So
some people call it pop, some call it soda. So Melissa, I want to thank you so very much. This has been awesome. You've been great, and don't be a stranger. I know that we will connect sometime soon because I have something special for you that we can talk after. Oh no, I'm gonna put myself in trouble here. Here's Donna says, oh no, Jamaica Patrick.
I've been to Jamaica 7 times. So
oh wow.
Jamaica's pretty awesome. It's beautiful. The green island.
It's always a war between which island is the best, but all of them are great. Whichever you visit is the one that you should go to because they're all great.
Absolutely.
So Melissa, thank you once again. Hang around. I'm going to put you in the green room, and then we'll come back and chat. But thank you so very much. This has been great. And we hope to bring you back sometime down the road. And again, this is Melissa of Rocket Media LLC. So make sure that you go online and check her out and give her a call or send her a message, and she'll be reaching back to you, either her or a member of your team. So thank you again, Melissa.
Thank you for having me, Patrick. It's great to see you.
Always a pleasure. Yeah.
All right.
So we've been talking to Melissa of Rocket Media LLC. I haven't seen her in a while, but so it's good to see her. It's good to chat with her. And it's good to see that her business is booming. So that's about it, folks. This is the 30. Of course, the 30 is brought to you sponsored by Serious Thought Pops. And if you want to have some fun, nonverbal, while engaging others, you can always contact Cindy Ray at C-Ray's Thought Pops. And that's 972-862-0194. And let her know that you heard it on the 30. So we are going to see you next week. I want to thank you once again for being here. For our friends, leaders, entrepreneurs, any decision makers, make sure that you join our Lunch and Learn. That happens each and every other Tuesday. So that means our next one is coming up on the 30th. And this is our Lunch and Learn. Go to jackmangrouplllc.com/subscribe. And the purpose of it is connection, development, and inspiration. It is free. You just got to show up 12 to 1 Eastern time. Register at jackmangrouplllc.com. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you tell someone, and make sure you join us next Thursday on the 30th. For you and your family, may God bless both of you, and be safe. We will see you next week.